Hey guys, Greg here, welcome to another video. So in this one we're going to be learning how to play the classic song Apache by the Shadows. This is an awesome song and great to learn on the guitar because it only uses like one note at a time. So you don't need to learn muscle memory like you do with chords and stuff like that. So this is a really easy one to get under your fingers. And if you're just starting out, everyone wants to learn a song all the way through, it seems. And sometimes it's the tricky bits that stop us from doing that. And there are a couple of tricky bits in this song. But I've made like a simplified version so that you don't have to get stuck on struggling with those bits. I'm going to show you both ways, so stay tuned for that. So don't forget to join our Facebook group, Beginner Guitar. There's a link in the description. Just head on over to Facebook and join. There's a great community of people from all around the world posting useful tips. And if you've got any problems, you can post it in the group or you can show videos of your progress. So we look forward to seeing you in the group. So I'll just play the first bit through this song and then we'll break it down. So how that starts is going to be the second fret on the G, which we're going to play with our second finger. So it's going to make the next bit a little bit easier. Then we're going to do the first fret on the B with our first finger. Then we're going to play the third fret on the B and we're going to bend it just slightly and then bring it down again. So we've got. Then we're going to go back to the second fret on the G with our second finger. Then we've got the first fret on the B with our first finger. Then we're going to slide 3 to 5 with our third finger on the E string. And then we've got the third fret on that string and then open E. So all together. Then we've got the first bit again, so we're going to play the second fret on the G with our second finger, first fret on the B with our first finger, then we've got the bend again on the third fret, and the last bit's going to be slightly different. It's going to be the second fret on the G again, then it's going to be the first fret on the B, and then we're going to do second fret on the G again, first fret on the B, and then back to the second fret on the G. So I'll just play the whole thing through one more time so you can hear how it sounds again. So. So the next bit we've got is the main melody. I'll play that through so you can hear how it sounds. So if we look at that bit first, what it is going to be the second fret on the D and the second fret on the G. And then we're going to repeat that. So we've got which we're going to do with our first finger. Then we've got the fourth fret on the D, which we're going to play with our third finger. Then we're going to go back to our first finger on the second fret of the D, then open D, and then back to second fret on the D again with our first finger. So all together. And it does that again, so one more time. I'll just play through the second half of the melody, so. So what the second part is, it's almost the same as the first bit, we're just on the strings below. And because the way the guitar's tuned, if you've ever tuned your guitar using the 5th fret and the open string, you'll notice that when you get to G and B, because they're a different interval apart, we have to go back a fret to make them the same. So all these strings are a perfect fourth apart, and then when we get to these two, they're a major third apart, and then we get back to these two, it's back to a perfect fourth. So there's a little bit of theory for you. So it's going to be almost the same, but instead of using 2 and 2 on those strings, we're going to be 2 and 3. So we're going to be 2 on the G, 3 on the B. So I think this is easiest with our first and second fingers on our left hand or our fretting hand. So if we play the second fret of our first finger on the G and the third fret on the B with our second finger, so, and it's the same pattern after that as it was before, so 2 on the G, 3 on the B, and we'll repeat that. Then we're going to do our third finger on the 4th fret on the G. Then we're going to go back to 2 on the G with our first finger, open G, and then back to 2 on the G with our first finger. So all together. And the last bit is almost the same as the first and second bits, which are the same. It's just got a slightly different ending. So so what it is going to be 2nd fret on the D with our first finger, and 2nd fret on the G again like it was before, and again. Then we've got the 4th fret on the D with our 3rd finger, and then we're just going to miss out the open D, so it's just 2 and then 2 again on the D with our first finger. The next bit we've got is the bit I was talking about at the start of the video with the gallop, so I'll just play it as Hank Marvin plays it, and then we can break that down, and after that I'll show you a simplified version which is a bit easier. So this is how it goes. So what that is, we're using palm muting. If you haven't done this before, what it is, we get this part of our hand here and we put it right next to the bridge, and instead of our strings ringing out, give us that sound, we get a real muted sound. You don't want to go too far this way, because if you do, it changes the pitch of the strings, so make sure you're right next to the bridge and you get that chugging sound. So what we're going to do, we're going to play the 3rd fret on the A, and we're going to do, this is the tricky bit because it takes a little bit of practice to get your wrist up to the kind of strength you need for the speed of this. So what it is, we're going to play our 3rd fret on our A string with a downstroke, and then we're going to pick, we're going to play the 3rd fret on the D string, and we're going to pick down, up, down, up on that one. So down on the 3rd on the A, and then down, up, down up on the 3rd fret on the D. And we're going to do that bit 4 times all together, so it's going to be. When we get to the next bit, we're going to stop palm muting, we're just going to let these ring out. So one more time all together. And it's almost the same thing again, but we're just going to miss out the open string on the A from the first time, so I'll just show you how it goes. So as you can see, it's pretty tricky. It takes a little bit of practice to get to that kind of speed, and this can stop you kind of learning the whole song, because if you get to a bit and it's tricky, then you might be really good at the first bit, and then when you get to this bit, it might put you off learning the rest of it. So I'm just going to show you an easier way to play it as well, so you don't have to struggle. So instead of doing the upstrokes in this bit, we're going to just kind of do it's going to be almost the same. I'll just play it through and then we can break it down. So it's going to be. So it's all downstrokes, because if you've been playing for a little while, you might have noticed that upstrokes are a little bit trickier because they're less natural than doing them down. And what we're going to do is we're going to play the 3rd fret like we did before on the A string with a downstroke, and then we're going to do 3 down picks on the 3rd fret on the D like we did before. So and the rest of it's the same, so we're just taking out those upstrokes that are the tricky bit. So up to speed. So it's still quite fast, but it's much easier without them tricky upstrokes. So yeah, just see how you find it. The next bit we're going to look at is the chorus. I'll play that through so you can hear how it sounds. So what that is, we're going to start off with the 3rd fret on the D string, which we're going to play with our 3rd finger. Then we've got the 2nd fret on the G, which we're going to play with our 2nd finger. Then the 1st fret on the B, which we're going to play with our 1st finger. This is actually an F chord. We'll play all the strings together. Yeah, so 3, 2, 1. Then we're going to do open B. Then we're going to do the 1st fret on the B, 3rd fret on the B, open E, then 3rd fret on the B, 1st fret on the B, and then we're going to finish on 2 on the G. So all together. So it's almost the same thing again. We're going to do 3 on the D, 2 on the G, 1 on the B, open B, 1st fret on the B, 3 on the B, and then open G. So the next bit, we've got like a little fill, and what it is, I'll just play it through. Yeah, what that is, we're going to start off with the 3rd fret, which we're going to slide to the 5th fret with our 3rd finger on the B string. Then we're going to play the 3rd fret with our 1st finger on the E string. Then back to the 5th fret with our 3rd finger on the B. So. And then we're going to slide from 5 on the B string, still with our 3rd finger, 6 with our 1st finger on the E. So then it goes back to the first bit we had, 3 on the D, 2 on the G, 1 on the B, open B, 1st fret on the B, 3rd fret on the B, open E, 3rd fret on the B, 1st fret on the B, and then we're going to finish out with the 2nd fret on the G. So all together. Then it goes back to the gallop, so I'll just play that. And again. The next bit we've got, it goes back to the main melody, but this bit's got a gallop to it as well. So I'll play it as it is, and then we can do a simplified version as well. So this is how it actually is. So they're all the same notes that we had before. We're going to start with the 2nd fret on the D, and then we've got the 2nd fret on the G. And what that is, we're going to do, we're going to go down, down, up, down, down on the 2nd fret on the G. So, and then we're going to do 2 2s on the D. Then we're going to do 2 on the G and back to 2 on the D. So, and this is all palm muted like it was before. So there's quite a lot going on there, as you can see. Then we're going to go to the 4th fret on the D, and it's the same as it was on the rhythm we had before. So down, down, up, down, down, and then we've got 2 2s and 2 open strings on the D. So, and then we're going to do 2 on the G, and then 2 on the D. So. And it does that again, so I'll play it one more time. So you may have noticed my guitar sounds a little bit different to Hank Marvin's. He uses quite a few effects such as like delay and reverb, and that gives him like his signature sound. So it's quite a dry sound that I'm using, but if I was to use all the effects, it would kind of sound a bit confusing, I think. So I've left all those out just so you can hear exactly as it sounds. Yeah, so the next bit, I'll just play that through. We're going to have. So this is the same as it was before. All the notes are the same as the melody part for this in the first bit. And we're going to use the same rhythm that we did for the previous bit that we've just done. But I'll break it down so you can hear how it sounds, and we'll go through that. So it's going to be 2 on the G with a downstroke. And then down, down, up, down, down on the 3rd fret on the B. Then we're going to do 2 2s on the G. And and then we're going to do a 3 on the B again, so, and then finish on 2 on the G, then that same rhythm on the 4th fret on the G, so down, down, up, down, down, and then 2 2s on the G, two open strings on the G, then 3 on the B, and 2 on the G. So all together, played slowly. And the last bit's going to be the same as the first 2 bits, so. There's an A minor chord at the end of this, so this bit's kind of optional. You can play it, it's good if you can play it. You've got to have muscle memory to remember the shape, and then you've got to get to it quite quickly as well. So if you find this bit tricky, then just leave it out. So after this, it goes back to the gallop that we had before. So as you can see, that was a pretty tricky way to play it. If you're not used to picking that fast, it's going to take you quite a lot of time to get there. So we're going to do a simplified version now, and we're going to leave out the upstrokes that make it tricky. So it's going to be. Yeah, so we're going to start off with 2nd fret on the D with our first finger. Then we're going to do 4 2s on the G string, so still all palm muted like it was before. And then 2 2s on the D. And then 2 on the G, back to 2 on the D. And then 4 4s on the D, 2 2s on the D, 2 open Ds, and then a 2 on the G and a 2 on the D. So we're going to do that same pattern for the whole bit. So it's going to be that again. So and then we're going to do the same thing that we did with the notes before. It's going to be a slightly easier picking pattern with no upstroke. So I'll just play that through so you can hear how it sounds. So. So what that is, it's going to be the 2nd fret on the G, and then 4 3s on the B, and then 2 2s on the G, back to 3 on the B, and then 2 on the G again. So then 4 4s on the G, 2 2s on the G, 2 open Gs, 3 on the B, and then 2 on the G. And the last bit's going to be the same as the first 2 bits, so. And you've got that optional A minor chord, which you can put in, or if you'd rather not, if it makes it tricky, you can leave it out. So then we've got the gallops again, which are the same as they were before, so I won't play those. Then the next bit we've got is the chorus, the second chorus, which is slightly different. It's pretty much the same, but there's just one bit that's different that feels different to what it was before. So I'll play it through so you can hear how it sounds, and then we'll break it down. So as you can see, it's pretty much, like I said, all the same as it was before. I won't go through the first part of it because it's the same as it was. So instead of doing that bit that we have, we're going to have this bit that goes, and that comes in after 2 of the F bit that we had. So and the next bit is almost the same. So I'll play through the bit that the new bit. So it's going to be open G, down, up, down, down on the G. Then we're going to do the first fret with a downstroke, then open, and then the same again. So all together. And again, this is tricky because it's got some upstrokes in it and it's fast. So if you wanted to make it easier, we could do. It's going to be down, down, down on the open G, and then 1, open, 1, open. So the last bit we're going to look at is the final gallop. I'll play it through and then we can break it down. So the first bit is the same as it was before, so and the new bit that we've got is going to be 4 1s on the top string, and then 4 open A's, 4 3s on the A, 4 3s on the D. This is all palm muted, and the last bit is going to be 2 on the D, followed by open A, which you let ring out. So the outro is actually the same as the intro. So I'll play it through. It's going to be. So yeah, I mean the actual track fades out. So if we just do like 3 of the first part of that, and then we finish with the last bit, that would be good. Yeah, so what that is going to be 2nd fret on the G, 1st fret on the B, 3rd fret which we're going to bend, and then bring back down again, and then we're going to do the 2nd fret on the G again, 1st fret on the B, slide 3 to 5 on the E, 3rd fret on the E, open E. I'm going to do 3 of those, so that bit 3 times. And the last bit we finish with the first bit of the last bit would be the same, so 2 on the G, 1 on the B, bend the 3, bring it back down, and we'll have that bit that we had at the start, which is 2 on the G, 1 on the B, 2 on the G, 1 on the B, back to 2 on the G. So they're all the parts to Apache by the Shadows. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please like and subscribe. If there's any songs you would like to learn, then leave me a comment below and I'll do my best to cover it in future videos. That's all from me for now. Take care guys, and see you soon.